shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clip. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not though. It's toilet paper. Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue. They're not exactly white. Once in a while, there's a red. Work, strife, poverty. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. There is, for precisely 1 more. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do. The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. Too fat. He is not really saying anything, just standing.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality.
No, actually. Any ideas? Okay. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun. Something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane, usual?
Usual is boring. We don't do that.
Oh, well, then maybe I can suggest one. The Hanged Man.
He really likes that name.
Are you sure? I think it's pretty serviceable. Okay then. The case doesn't need to have a name.
It actually does. You've offended him. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done in...
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Good. That's a good one. But do you also use the titular? Well, so do I. In our defense, officer, almost everyone in the RCM does. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was fine. For inter-district cooperation, let's try one more time. Okay. It's a good name. Something more...
Usual is boring.
Yes. They're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot...
Fun is outlawed with this guy! What a knock!
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest. Could you make it less poetic?
Yes. You know what that...
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. Huh? 2 complex case. 2? That's a lot. That's okay.
Like a fan of girls, you don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned. The slides snap back into place. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. It smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Luke, a young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, every step I take, it grows. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what?
Detective, is everything all right?
There is nothing. Again. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Is it? The world is gone. You are no longer reacting to outward stimuli, yet still.
A bitter, caustic sense of loss remains. Even in the darkness, great sorrows slip in the water. Slimy. Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. 10 minutes, maybe. Good. You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. You don't exactly close them. So, without resistance or sound, two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other. The words just crossed your mind. Who do you think? It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with, but it's the one you got. Yeah, we're staying out of this business for now. HDB is bad news from yesteryear. It's shit, honcho. It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound. That's all you got. Who knows? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. It takes about half an hour to piece one to... Not much has changed in the meanwhile. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not... Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? Understood. You're that kind of detective. Why don't you get back to your case?